Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
And we begin tonight at 5 with forewarned weather. A winter storm watch set to go into effect as we track our first big snow of the season. The amount of snow you get, wait until you see the dividing lines here. It really does depend on where you are.
And this live shot from our Mount Clemens Skycam likely going to look different when we join you tomorrow at 5.
Kim Adams has been sorting through all these models. The picture, the timeline is starting to get a little clearer, but it's going to be tricky.
It is going to be tricky, but the Winter Storm Watch kind of identifies to you where the heaviest snow bands are expected to be, and it's anywhere you see shaded in blue. Under a Winter Storm Watch from 10 a.m. Friday until 1 p.m. Saturday. This is new today. Oakland and Washtenaw have now been added to this watch. Now, what does a watch mean? A watch means that 8 inches of snow or more is possible in a 12-hour period, but a shorter period only requires 6 inches, and we'll be right about in here. It also can be in combination with rain, freezing rain, and sleet, all of which are possible tomorrow. But right now, we've had a few snow bands go through. It was a messy morning commute, even with an inch or two of snow, and we still got a few spritzes and sprinkles out there in Oakland and Macomb counties. Tonight's not the problem. Morning commute, not a problem. It comes in the afternoon tomorrow and continues through Saturday. 32 right now downtown is the current wind chill. Wind chills across the rest of Metro Detroit are in the 20s, but when you tune in Saturday and Sunday, those wind chills will be well below zero. So for tomorrow, we start out dry at 8 a.m. Sometime around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we start to get snow. Then as we get into the evening hours after about 7 or 8 o'clock, that snow mixes with and changes over to rain. And that's going to cut down some of the snow totals. Behind this system is some very, very cold air, the coldest air we have seen since 2022. So very, very cold, bitterly cold, in fact. And with wind gusts expected Saturday over 50 miles per hour, power outages are a very big concern. So I'm going to show you some of those expected wind gusts. It kind of took me by surprise this afternoon, so I'll show those to you, and we'll talk more specifically about snow totals for your neighborhood.
All right, Kim, so this timing of this storm could put a real snarl in tomorrow's commute.
And today, road crews are resting up and getting ready. Megan Woods spent the day checking in with road commissions across Metro Detroit. Megan, they're going to be busy.
Kimberly, that's the expectation. We spoke to or caught up with Craig Bryson from the Road Commission here in Oakland County, and he says, yes, when you drive by garages, you'll see it's all quiet, but it's because they're coming off another busy stretch.
So, Craig, even though we don't see snow outside, you were telling me these last 2 days have been pretty hectic for you guys.
They have. We've been working around the clock. We've had the freezing rain. We've had a little bit of snow here and there. That kind of stuff creates icy conditions, and we have to be out salting. So for the safety of the public, we've been out 24 hours a day for the last 2 days straight.
How are you prepping for this weekend and what we're expecting?
Well, we are prepared. The thing we can do is try to make sure all our trucks are working, our mechanics are trying to get them ready. Our crews are actually out doing their regular work today. They'll go home at the end of the shift. They'll come back in tomorrow, and then we'll work for, probably 16-hour shifts starting tomorrow. But I mean, we're ready to go 24/7 this time of year for these types of things. There isn't a lot of prep that we need to do in advance of a storm like this. We will be out with all of our forces tomorrow when the snow starts and for the duration of the storm. However, we'll have 109 trucks out at the max. We maintain 3,000 miles of road, so we're not everywhere at all the time. With the heavy winds coming, there will probably be times when the wind blows the snow right back over the road, and that can create icy conditions in a heartbeat. So while we'll be out, we remind people that it's still potential for ice and slippery conditions.
He also mentioned before you see any type of snow, there are going to be road crews putting down that liquid brine to just slow down that ice from forming, really to give them some time to catch up when things start rolling in and starting. So reporting live in Southfield, I'm Megan Woods, Local 4.
Okay, Megan, thank you for that update. And we know road crews are going to be busy over the next 36 hours, but DTE says it's going to be keeping a close eye on the storm as well.
Kim just mentioned that worry that the threat of ice, high winds could bring down lines. Sean Lay live with that part of the story. After the storm pushes through, then it's set to get really, really cold, Sean.
Really cold, and we all don't want to lose power, but just have to look up on any street. We're in Highland Park right here. We pulled off of Woodward Avenue. Power line after power line, transformer after transformer. Kim's telling us about wind snow. If it's heavy, wet snow, rain following that. If there's heavy, wet snow followed by ice, it's not good, guys. That means power lines could be snapping, transformers popping all over town. So, hey, DTE set out an alert well before this storm. They're telling us, of course, we know these things, but it's a good reminder. Stay out of your yard, at least one bus length away, or just stay away from all if there's a downed line there. Considered a down power line, we all know this as well, live and dangerous. Just stay away, call it in. Heed the warning of caution yellow tape. We'll see that from time to time in yards. Stay away, do not cross any caution tape at all. Never use a portable generator. We've seen this before. Inside a home or business, in your garage perhaps, no generators. It emits carbon monoxide. We know that. It can be deadly. Keep it outside for sure. Report any down lines to DTE through a phone number or its app. I've used its app before, guys. It's very, very easy to use that app. But again, we know these things, but we have been out here, stories before where a line is down across the fence, a kid touches the line. It's not a good situation at all. So DTE putting out the warning right now. They'll have an update tomorrow. We'll stick close to them too as perhaps power outages come in. But again, we don't want these things to fall, but they could be snapping left and right if that's really heavy, wet snow and ice, guys.
Exactly right. All right, Sean, and you're going to want to keep your eye on the Forewarn Weather app now as this storm moves through. You can download it for free in the app stores. Just search WDIV.
The FAA says it is opening an investigation into Boeing's quality control after the violent in-flight failure of a door plug on a nearly new 737 MAX 9 aircraft. The fuselage plug blew off the aircraft Friday and left a hole in the side of the plane as that plane flew at 16,000 feet shortly after taking off from Portland, Oregon. 177 passengers were on board. The FAA says it will focus on whether Boeing failed to ensure the door plug was in condition for safe operation in compliance with FAA regulations.
We are all in on the Detroit Lions. If you need any further proof this is really happening, take a look at this. Our crews at Ford Field today as the playoff logo was being painted onto the field. Lions taking on the Rams in the wild card round Sunday night, and you'll see it right here on Local 4. Today it was the coordinators' turn to talk.
Yeah, Bernie is here with us now. There's a lot of talk about them interviewing for head coaching jobs. Did they say anything about that today?
Not a peep,
Probably
not
not.
a word.
Good idea.
And you know the reason? They got a playoff game to worry about this coming Sunday night. And for Ben Johnson, he's got a tight end he wants to see playing. We've got highlights of Sam Laporta. Dan Campbell said yesterday it would be Friday afternoon before they knew if Laporta would be playing against the Rams. There he is getting hurt against the Vikings. Ben Johnson says Laporta's a huge key for this Lions offense.
Got a little bit different skill set than the rest of those guys, and really, frankly, with the rest of the league, he's awesome. So yeah, if he can't go, then those other guys will have to step up, and maybe we just ask them to do a little bit different jobs than what we've done with Sam. But it'll be great potentially getting Brock back here this week.
Laporta did say today, he spoke a bit to the media, he's optimistic he can play, and he took a limited number of reps in practice. That's a huge plus for the Lions, and Laporta himself said he was optimistic, as I just said, and that, of course, would be massive for the Lions.
Boy, wouldn't it, though?
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got you covered for everything leading up to Sunday night's game right here on Local 4. That's right. Tune in for our All-In Playoff Edition special Sunday night at 6:30. We'll get you ready with special interviews and some of the Lions fans that make these games so great. Then be sure to stay with us after the game for Local 4 News at 11-ish.
Yeah, 11:45-ish, somewhere in there. And as the Lions prepare for Sunday night, we are also very far from being done celebrating the Wolverines National Championship.
There will be a parade through Ann Arbor at 4 p.m. Saturday. It's going to start at the President's House and make its way down State Street to Schembechler Hall. That'll be followed by an indoor celebration at Chrysler Center at 7 p.m. Lower bowl tickets are $60, upper bowl $30, with proceeds going to the Champions Circle Collective, which benefits U of M student athletes.
If you can't make it to Ann Arbor, we're going to be celebrating the Parade of Champions Saturday with our coverage online, getting underway at 4 p.m. We'll have it here on Local 4, but we will also stream it for you on Local 4 Plus.